Logan is always smiling. No matter what's going on, he's always got a big smile. He keeps everybody else happy around him. He's a born entertainer, he always has been. And he loves dance, he's loved it for a long time. We didn't even realize, like he was watching So You Think You Can Dance, and he kind of started talking about it, and we thought, oh, it's just a fad, we'll let it pass. And then he kept asking and asking, and we finally put him in, and he was just natural at that as well. So Logan and his dad were actually driving home from a dance practice, and at the last set of lights before getting to the house, they collided with a semi. The semi hit on Logan's side where he was sitting, just a little bit ahead of where he was sitting, and he was trapped in the vehicle. So the paramedics had to bring the jaws of life to get him out, and he was transported to the Children's Hospital.
He was very ill. He was rushed into emergency hospital by our paramedics. With any sort of brain injury, it's very difficult for us to say how well the patient is going to do in the first several hours to days. But when Logan came in, we were very concerned because he had bruising in the brain and his pressures were very, very high. And you want to be optimistic and you want to have all sort of hope, but at the same time you also have to be realistic. And we are very guarded with Logan and with the outcome that we were going to expect with him.
To see him laying in the emergency room was unbearable. I remember a nurse was bagging him so that he could breathe. He looked lifeless. He was completely bloodied and bruised already, and it was very scary to think that he might not move again. We were told initially that we should be prepared for not much function at all. And it's an unbearable thing to think about.
It was really when he was on the ward where you saw dramatic improvements. And again, I think that that's quite indicative of severe brain trauma, is it takes time, it takes rehabilitation. And I remember Logan not being able to sit up in bed. And then a week later, I would come and visit him and he was able to sit and take a few steps. And I remember saying, next time I see you, I want to see you do stairs. And he was able to do it.
The Children's Hospital was just incredible with the resources that they had. I mean, just endless pieces of equipment that he needed, but that were essential for him to be able to walk again and move around again and regain his balance.
Well, when I was there, I was very scared and I was nervous and I didn't know what was happening. But the nurses and doctors and physiotherapists and all the therapists there are so kind and so helpful, and they help me push through it.
Anytime there's a child with traumatic brain injury as severe as Logan's, they will be in the hospital for months and sometimes even years as far as the rehab process is concerned. There's a tremendous amount of resources that are required, human resources, equipment resources. So the foundation is able to provide funding and equipment and personnel to enhance the care of a child who probably wouldn't be able to receive it otherwise.
It's kind of incredible every day. Every day that he does something, it's a blessing. I feel blessed every day. And then to see him get up and do things, to see him go out and ride his bike, or to go, perform on stage and spin when people told us, that he wouldn't be probably able to dance. It's incredible. It continuously makes me happy.
I'm so grateful that I had all the doctors and nurses and equipment there at that time to help me.
Children are precious, and I think that in order for us to have the healthiest community that we possibly can have, In order for our kids to have the greatest amount of hope they can have, we need the extra support from foundations, particularly the Children's Hospital Foundation, in order to be able to augment the care and to maximize the outcomes and to provide the best possible health that we can give to our kids.
Even if they donated $5, nothing's too little, because it goes into the life-saving equipment and the education that the doctors and nurses can have so that they can save lives like mine or other kids.